Recently, I added someone on Instagram. I sent a friend request or a connection request. I'm not sure what they're called these days because we have so many social media apps out there. We have the usual, the ones that we know: Facebook, Instagram. What else? And there's also TikTok. Um, okay, did I say LinkedIn? I've also tried hanging out on Discord and what's the other one? Uh, I can't remember the other one. Anyway, we have a whole lot, and each social media ecosystem has its own term. So, well, for now, I'm just going to say friend request. But just know that for this podcast episode and future episodes, if I say I sent someone a request, I'm just using a generic term, even if technically speaking they call it something else. Because, like, I think LinkedIn is connection request and Facebook is a friend request. So, this happened on um, where was I? Instagram, yes. It happened on Instagram. I sent someone a request because I noticed a live that she did with another creator, and the content was real nice, real useful, and it was in the area of personal finance, which I don't know much about. So I always try and keep folks like that in my ecosystem because while I'm paying attention to my primary mission, which is pushing for the gospel of sales and personal selling, I also like to pay attention to other things that other people are interested in that are important to building the quality of life that most of us desire. So even though I'm pushing this sales thing, I'm always paying attention to other people who talk about investment, personal development, personal finance, and things of that nature. Now, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because I have answered a couple of questions on the podcast about networking, and today is another case study about how networking has been done wrong. So I sent this request, the person accepted, and then not long after that, maybe about a week, I now started receiving some group messaging in my inbox. Now I was shocked because I didn't even know that you could do that kind of thing on LinkedIn. So on WhatsApp, it happens all the time. Join this group, join this group, join that group. On Twitter, it happens all the time. You just receive a random message and you see that you're on some group with 605 other people and they're trying to sell you Bitcoin um, or some other product like that. And so, I'm used to the whole drill of block, spam, delete, the usual. But yeah, so seeing this on Instagram, I didn't know that could happen. So I had a look at the group because I wanted to figure out who added me and how did they do this. And some of the content there was not bad, but I'm still going to call it spam anyway, because what makes something spam is not that it is about forex or cryptocurrency or multi-level marketing or wonder banks or what else or sex trafficking or whatever. It's not the subject matter that makes something spam. It is the fact that the person did not opt into this thing, the person isn't interested in this thing, and the person didn't opt for this thing. So that is what makes it spam. So I could be sending legit messages about sales, or I could be sending really helpful messages about personal development, or maybe about God, or about theology, but it could still be spam if the person receiving it didn't indicate that they are interested in receiving that message. They haven't given you any signs to show that they're interested. They haven't opted in. They haven't requested. That is what makes a message spam, and not how helpful or how slimy the message is. So in this case, even though it's personal finance, it's useful, it's not something I've requested for, so therefore it is spam. So I got myself off the group, and I'm not going to spam the group because I know that this is a legit person. So let me not ding her profile. So I just left the group. But if they forcefully add me again, then I'll have the conversation with her that I don't want to be a part of the group and all that, and hopefully she'll take my that advice on board. Because I wouldn't be surprised if some individuals are going to see that kind of thing and they're going to hit report and hit block and all those other actions that we can take when we receive unsolicited messages. So yeah, so that's the first takeaway from this episode. Let's be careful when we are creating groups and trying to send out group messaging. We should be wary of sending out spam. And remember that spam is not according to the subject matter. So it's not spam because it's something sleazy and it has to do with sex or it has to do with cryptocurrency or it has to do with whatever it is. It's not the subject message that makes something spam. It's not the subject. What makes something spam is the fact that it is unsolicited. The person didn't ask for it, and the person didn't give you a hint that they want it. So if someone sends you a message that, hey, do you have any group Telegram communities? I would love to be a part of it so that I can learn some more about your personal finance or whatever it is that you do. Then in that case, yes, add the person onto the group. The person has asked for it. Or in other circumstances, the person opts in, like if it's an email, it's a group email thing, you can hit subscribe. So people opt in for those sorts of things. So don't add anyone except if the person opts in or if the person asks you to. Now, before you use um, LinkedIn or Instagram or social media as networking tools like this, if you're going to use group messaging on those platforms, what you have to do is to build relationships first, because it's when you build relationships that's what gives you the right to send somebody a group invitation in the first place. So if me and this personal finance lady hung out a bit more, had been having a couple of conversations, maybe over 2 3 months, and then she said, "Oh, by the way, I'm starting this thing. Would you like to join? Would you like to take part? Would you like to contribute?" That would have been a different thing. um, in that case, I would have been much more open to the idea. So you have to build relationships first before you start chugging people into all these groups that they didn't ask to join. So after you send a group invitation, sorry, not a group invitation, before you send a group invitation, build relationships first. That is what's going to give you the right to send out these group invitations. So, and you do that by building relationships. Relationships are built on these kind of networks by liking, connecting, liking, commenting on their stuff, inviting people for collaborations, those sorts of things. Basically, that's how you build um, relationships on these groups. So it's after you do these things that you can now ask people to now be a part of your group. If you don't do that, what you're doing is just creating more spam in the ecosystem. And spam is bad not just because people don't want it, but most people, when they get spam, like I do, and I'm sure you do, what we do is first of all, we hit block, or we hit report, or we hit leave group. Um, I can't remember what other options they are. But the thing is, when you do these things, it sends messages back to the algorithm. And so the algorithm is now um, getting the sense that this thing is spammy, it's not needed, people don't find it valuable, and that affects deliverability down the line. So that when you send out stuff, lots of people are not being able to see it and to interact with it. And these are the sorts of things that sometimes get your um, profiles, what's the word, deactivated. Yeah, for abuse of community guidelines. So you might have noticed, and I see it sometimes, that some people put up some messages um, on what's it called, Instagram. They put messages up on Instagram that, oh, this is my second account. The first one got blocked. I don't know why. And you have a look at the profile, and then it's obvious why. It's because you've been engaging in this sort of spammy behavior. That's what got you blocked the first time round. If you want to stop getting blocked, because you start the first one, you build it up to about 3,000, 4,000 people, then you get blocked, then you have to start again, then that one gets blocked, then you have to start again. Why not just do things in a different way so that you don't have to start starting from scratch all the time? So if you found yourself getting blocked multiple times, it's probably because you've been engaging in this sort of behavior. Um, Go around, amass a couple of do that whole follow for follow thing, get 4,000 people, create the group, try and slam them into that group, and then try to sell them something. So there's a different way for going about it. Take the slow approach, build relationships first. That gives you the right to send group invitations. And before you do that, try and build relationships, like their content, comment on stuff that they do, try and get in collaborations with one or two people before you try and throw them into your funnel. So that's it for today. Yeah, so thanks for your time and attention. Remember, you can ask me anything on WhatsApp or Telegram by sending me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080 and the country code is +234. So thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording.